What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about blues versus jazz. So what's better and why? And I have my good buddy Mike here with us. I'm gonna show him a few lines of blues and a few lines of jazz. I'm gonna explain what's happening, but you're also gonna discuss what is better or worse, and we'll see shortly. You ready?
I'm ready. I was born ready, baby.
Check this out.
Whoops. Take a second.
Turn it off here. Nice. So exactly.
Ah. You're doing it there.
Exactly. Nice, yeah. Perfect, man. So what's happening here to me, although I'm thinking like kind of like bluesier, right? It's still like around C major. So our chord is C major 7, and I'm thinking I'm going to the 6, or you know, I'm not really thinking about it anymore, but it's kind of this color that I like to hear, C major 7 chord, and I love that sound of the 6. But still, although it's C major, I'm still doing a little slide there.
With the spice in there.
Yeah, and then I'm repeating that idea of the 6 to the 1 here. Right, and then I'm bending a little bit, going to the E flat. Now it doesn't really make sense if you think about C major 7 and playing E flat, it's like the worst.
Yeah.
But that tension is really cool, especially when it resolves. So it's like, you know, it's like you punching me in the face.
Look, see it? I did it. That was me. It wasn't me. It was a pool.
It was a pool. It was a pool. But you know, it's like that punch, and then you're like, oh, and then the resolution. So you take the stitches off, you feel much better.
All right.
Let's hear it one more time. Perfect. Now in time, together. If you're digging this video, the best way to help and support me would be by clicking the like button, maybe dropping a comment telling us which line you like the best, and also there's PDF and notation for all this stuff on my Patreon. Let's log it in time. Yeah, that feels great.
That feels real good, man. It's smooth.
Now, let's take the same idea. Okay, we're still playing C major 7, but what happens if we... So all I'm doing right now, I'm playing a little, you know, not even chromatic, but just this thematic idea around the chord, around the triangle, around the C major. Check it out. What's happening here? I'm really thinking about the 1, 3, 5, C, E, and G, and I'm playing an approach note from above, scale-wise, A to G, and then a chromatic note, B to C, and then F to E, F sharp to G, D to C, E flat to E, A to G. So basically, a chromatic note beneath the chord tone, and it stepwise, scale-wise above the chord tone. Check it out. I mean, you show us.
Okay, it's gonna take a second here. Oops.
But F natural, right? So think about it. We're still in C major, so in that sense, like, we don't have F sharp. We have F sharp only as a chromatic note from below. Yeah, exactly.
Down. Okay.
Let's try it in time. Exactly. Maybe some fairies. Like that's the 5 to the 6, so it has that lush kind of sound.
Okay.
can continue doing that, you know. If you. Oof.
Okay, one more time. There it is.
There it is.
It took a second.
Great. Awesome. So now let's go to play a different chord color. I'm gonna play, instead of C major 7, let's go to C7.
Okay.
Wait, which one do you like better? The jazz or the blues?
I think jazz wins this one.
Yes!
That's real pretty.
That's right! That's right! Not that I have any bias. I mean,
Yeah, he has no skin in the game, clearly.
No. No, I'm kidding. I mean, am I? No, I love both. Equally. Not true. This is not a true statement. Alright, now I'm gonna play C7. I'm gonna play a little line over that and show that to Mike. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah, let's see it.
So, all I'm doing, right, I'm thinking C7, but I'm playing really just the blues pentatonic, nothing special, but just trying to place it in time. And like you see, I played a line and then I right away played it exactly the same way again, because I'm just trying to kind of lock into the groove, which is super, super helpful and important. Alright, the line. You got it?
Oh, do I have it?
Mm-hmm.
Where you going? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then yeah. So exactly that. The hammer on. That like super gospel-y, or I mean blues and everything, but just like that sound. And then I'm just ending. Right, just bending that D to that E flat. Yeah, you can bend even much better with this guitar. Woo. So the line itself is in time. You got it?
We'll find out. Oh, it goes.
Right, and that's the cool thing about the line. I feel that tension, right, going from the 3 to the 7, super intense and beautiful. And again, it's really, I'm going from the 3 of the chord, the E natural, so not E flat as the blues scale. So I'm getting that tension to the 7. So I have this trident, this very intense interval there. Exactly. Lower but less locking in time, like really
Let's
slow.
do it. Sounds good.
2, I'll come for you. 3, 4. Again. Yeah. Let's just work on that part. So loop that. Sing it with me. Sometimes, right, like when you hear a line and you can play it, it's really good to just pause and try to sing it, you know. And then a lot of times we hear the notes and then the rhythm is a little off, so we just need to figure out the relationship to the rhythm as well, right? So it's like really, really awesome. All right.
Nice.
I'm getting good work. Good work. All right. So now let's hear the jazzy option.
Ooh, the jazzy. That's a pretty good bluesy. We'll see what the jazzy's got.
Yes. Alright, so what's happening here is I'm going to show this to Mike and then we'll talk about it. I'll break it down into two parts because this is kind of longer and a little bit more complex, but we have really cool devices that are kind of hiding in this phrase, so if you understand the phrase and the devices, you can kind of use them in different places. Check it out. This is the first half of the line, and the reason is I'm really articulating the C7, so it's easier with the fingering. Sometimes the fingering can really help, you know. Oops. Yeah, maybe slide even. Oops. Slide with your third finger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see, because then you just set up the chord.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then I'm playing a chromatic note. Exactly. And what's happening here is really classic jazz thing, which is basically we're articulating the C7. So we're starting with an approach note to the C, playing literally C, E, G, B flat, articulating just an arpeggio of the chord 1, 3, 5, 7, and then a chromatic note, and then two chromatic notes above and beneath the chord tone, and then resolving on the third of C. So this is half of the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And what's happening there is really an eighth note rest, an eighth note, and then a triplet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
3. Oops. But then I'm staying.
I'm gonna play this line one more time together, really slowly. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Nice, great, you got it. Okay, so the cool thing about the line is that we kind of have almost two lines combined in one thing. We are articulating the chord in a very specific way because we're basically playing the arpeggio, right? We're playing the 1, 3, 5, and 7 here, and just with some chromatic notes to those chord tones, if you will. And then the same thing happens here. It's kind of 5 to the 3. This is kind of like an odd one with a 4 and a 9. 3 and 1, and then 9 to the 6, and that's kind of like just for color at the very end. So we are really zooming into the chord tones. I think jazz in general has that notion of articulating the triads and arpeggios, like really articulating the chord at hand with some chromatic notes, and blues sometimes tend to be a little more general. Again, of course, it depends on who and when, but this would be highlighting a center rather than a chord. It doesn't mean it's better or worse, right? I mean, for me, this can be the universe, right?
Damn Skippy.
Yeah, and sometimes that could be the universe. So it just depends on when. So now I'm gonna play D minor loop chord, and I'm gonna play a line that is, I guess, bluesier in nature, and then a line is jazzier in nature, and then Mike is gonna decide who won, and then we have one line that jazz won, we have one line that blues won,
Final match.
And this is the final match. So really, my whole entity is gonna depend on your decision. So if you have different choices than Mike, please drop a comment and tell me which line won in each match, so we can sum the result and know if blues won or jazz won. Yeah, so all I did actually was play the same line 3 times. But I don't know, it's cool, right? Just the change of register has a vibe.
Totally.
And I basically played... Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and even this line, right? Just the idea here is we are in D minor pentatonic. So this is our framework. But I'm playing the 6th. And the 6th gives it a lot of vibe. A lot of color and this beautiful thing, right? It's not in the blues scale per se, but it's a part of the blues. And then I'm basically going to the 9, but I'm bending it a little bit, so I'm getting that flat 9, which is the correct note, if you will. And I'm doing the same thing, copy paste on that 6th. So if you bend the 6th,
You get the right.
you get
the right note.
Exactly, you're getting the flat 7. Yeah, you got it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly, and what's really helpful, right, is if you see your notes, if you know that this is D and this is A, you're pretty much set, because you know these are kind of the starting point.
Yep.
Not a good reason to check out the notes on the fingerboard. Nice. You got it, you got it. Ready for jazz? You ready for jazz?
Yeah.
This is D minor 7 jazz version. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Jazz.
So what's happening here?
What is happening here?
I'm starting with a note D. So again, like we talked before, I'm really articulating the chord. So I'm starting from D because we're playing D minor.
So.
And then I'm going to the 7. Right. You can do any slide you want, but this might be easier. But C sharp, right? Yeah. So. Again. Yeah. Nice, nice, you got it. And what's happening here is really I'm going to the 9 and then hitting the major 7, super lush, that C sharp against D minor, and then playing A to B, so this is the 6th, also very lush. So let's do this one more time. Yeah, exactly. Let's hear it in time. Sorry, together?
Yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2. Again. that you played C natural
I
there,
keep
right?
doing that, yeah.
It's fine. Again, C natural is gonna sound good, but the cool thing about it is that while we're playing the C sharp, we're really highlighting back again to D. So it's just
Sure.
like there's a lot of tension there, and that's what's cool about it.
Yeah, because it brings us right back home. It feels very much like, because I grew up playing violin, it almost sounds like a Vivaldi line.
Totally.
Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, right. Or in Bach or something. Yeah,
for sure.
Right?
All these things, right? They're
Yeah.
doing that. All these devices to articulate and create this tension. Totally. Or
Awesome.
right, all
Yeah.
these, like all these violin concertos, right? It's really articulating the chords with, it's beautiful.
Cool, man.
Nice. Do want to hear who won this battle?
You know what, man? Because it was a throwback to my violin days. I think Jazz might have won.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
I think it might have. Although, man, it was neck and neck because I love a good band, and yeah, man.
I mean, honestly, I don't mind who won. I don't care about jazz or blues, honestly. I don't care about music at all. So for me, it's like, whatever, dude.
You keep telling yourself that, Rotem.
I sure will. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sticking around and hanging. Hopefully you got some interesting ideas, interesting lines that you can use for your music. And even if you hate the lines, it's good to understand the devices behind them and also get to know Mike. Alright, I'll see you guys very soon. Peace. Thank you.